Hello, hello, hello. We are here at the 4:30 hour. We are getting close. Guys, it's been a very long day, a very informative day. Man, shout out to everybody who is involved. We hope that you have got information. We hope you took notes. Hope you asked questions, visit all the booths. So we're here at the final panel here. We want to reflect on the day. My question is, what did we learn today? I'm going to bring back some of the key players from the top of the whole program. I want to welcome Nelcha back. Nelcha Gidney spent 20 years avoiding dialysis and then found herself crashing into the ER and placed on emergency hemodialysis. After starting home hemodialysis in 2014, she felt great. Nelcha is a passionate advocate now enjoying her role as executive director of Home Dialyzers United with a long-standing focus on policy advocacy. You've seen it and heard a lot of Nelcha today. Nelcha, it's good to be back with you here again. How's your day been so far?
It couldn't have been more rewarding. I was jumping from, expo booth to patient panel. Everyone was wonderful. I mean, I can't wait till we get everything on our website and go back and review them more because I can't express how wonderful it makes me when I see the conversations flowing between patients and clinicians and everybody in between. I mean, this is what we want.
This is what we want. Let's bring on Dawn. Dawn Lawler is a kidney care options educator at US Renal Care and ESRD patient with transplant. Dawn dialyzed in center in the early 2000s prior to receiving her transplant. She has polycystic kidney disease and has been transplanted twice. She's also a nephrologist nurse who works to educate patients about their home options. Dawn, I was watching your video clip earlier just a minute ago, and I was just sitting there like, man, this lady is rock. This lady rocks. So congratulations to you, and I know you had a great day today.
Oh, I did, and thank you so much. Seeing all the patients, listening to them, listening to the MDs. I mean, this is what we need. This is what the kidney community is starving for, is just this dialogue back and forth. And all of these people that in my eyes are so brave, including the two of you. I mean, I'm in awe when I listen to the two of you. So I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that I gained today.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Next, certainly not least, Rapa, I'm going to bring you back, man. Rapa Yasharala. Okay, I'm going to get that and I'm going to say it all day. Rapa, what's up, my man? He's been dialing for 22 years now. He's had, how do you say this? I don't want to say it wrong. Is it Alport syndrome? I said it right last time. I didn't get it right this time, which he inherited from his mother. Starting when he was a child, Rapa has done every dialysis modality and now does home hemodialysis with the Tablo dialysis machine. Rapa has been transplanted 3 times and rejected every transplant due to his underlying condition. Also a certified dialysis technician who loves caring for his fellow patients and advocating for them. Rapa, welcome back, my man. I know it's been an intuitive day for you as well.
Yes, it has. I'd like to thank you all for having me here. This was a very informative day. I took all kinds of notes.
You sound so excited about it. As a guy who doesn't take good notes, and for hearing you say you're excited about it, I'm happy you took good notes. Maybe you could trade some off with me. Hey, guys, so this being the last segment of the day, let's just all, buckle down into what we've heard, things we've listened to, things we've took in from patients, from physicians, dietitians, and everything like that. What can you say was the biggest highlight for you, Nelcha? I'm curious to hear. What was the biggest highlight from you today, from today's program?
Oh gosh, I love everybody here today. They're all my heroes. I love hearing from them, and every time I hear people talk, Dawn and Vanessa and you and Dawn Lawler, every time you guys talk, I learn something new about you all, and that just warms my heart. So the whole day has just been wonderful. When I envisioned starting the summit, it was so interesting because I said we've been burned out on Zoom, and I don't want to do just an ordinary run-of-the-mill workshop. And by partnering with AKF, I know we achieved that. This is not your ordinary Zoom. People stayed all day, including myself. And that's really important, because how else are you going to learn if you get bored in the first 30 seconds and then leave? So we have high attendance. We have high people staying on, listening, staying in their shows. I think that we did so great on the expo booths this year. And I was able to drop in on everybody and have even more fun talking with them, with my, favorites, people at Outset and the Next Stage. And then we had the little guys at TNT Mobile have been supporters of HDU since day one. And they have some of the nicest products. And I've been using them for years, and it's just hard to get them to break into the LDO market. But everything they do is dedicated to making patients' lives easier and better. So, I'm just overwhelmed again. I thought we couldn't top last year, but we did, and that's all thanks to our people at AMP and AKF and everybody who just jumped in and helped see the day off.
Amazing. Rapa, let's hear from you.
So I took a lot, because just like her, I was hopping in and out of rooms. I was just hopping, going back and forth, and there's so much that goes into dialysis as a whole. I mean, we all can agree on that. It's very hard to because I have a whole entire thing here. Like,
so all right, so give me two highlights, two things that either one that blew you away and something that you learned today. Just give me two.
So Adam Wilson said this best: the right access for the right patient at the right time for the right reason. Mm-hmm. That stood out to me a lot. I mean, normally when you come on and you're new, immediately they want to jump you on PD, or immediately they want to stick a permacath in you and get you running and get you going. But like we said earlier when we had broke out, we all got into this, and my personal belief is that God allowed things to move the way that they did in order for us to get to where we needed to be, divine appointment. So it really is, you have all these different modalities, but different things to choose from. I myself have Tableau, David has Tableau, other people have Next Stage, some people do peritoneal, but all in all, whether you're in the center or you're outside of the center, there's a lot to be engaged. There's a lot to be changed. I'm starting to see from what I've learned, what I've gathered here, is that there should be a patient representative inside of units. There should be a patient representative by the patient for the patient. There should be somebody selected that can go and talk to patients, check on patients, bring it to their team. That would definitely be beneficial from what I've gathered here. Geez, there's just so much that we can go on and on about.
So what I'll do is I'll pop back to you if we got a little time at the end. And you could single out one for me. All right, we'll do that. Dawn, give me something. Your biggest highlight from today.
Don't prejudge. If the will is there, there can be other deficits. There can be other barriers, issues. But to support the person, to get the person home. Somebody mentioned, well, my doctor said I'm not a candidate. If you're not educated and you don't know to say, well, why am I not a candidate? Is it something physical? Is it my home environment? Is it my support system? There were plenty of people out there that were solo, right? And that I know that when I first started as a home nurse, the thought of someone on home hemo, you couldn't do it alone.
Yep.
That wasn't a possibility. So if someone said, oh, you know what, I don't have anyone who could step up to be a caregiver, it really didn't matter if the patient was Superman. You just couldn't do it.
Yep.
So true. I see that progression changing, which is really so great, because really, these machines, and because David, you've used both of them, right? Next Stage and Tableau. They're very safe overall. They're made for home. That's the other thing. These machines are made for home. So that's the first thing. The second thing is a lot of people asked about, I don't have home in my area. My doctor hasn't mentioned home to me. You don't have to stay with your nephrologist in your area if they're not helping you to really pick the option that fits your lifestyle.
Exactly.
You can move on if
preference.
Then if the nephrologist is in another clinic that's near you, great. But if not, you have to go find someone who's going to support you and support your wishes.
Very true.
So guys, that was a big thing for me to see how many people asked a question about that.
Beautiful. Great answers, guys. So I'm jumping around the questions here. What do you see as the next frontier for dialysis care? And what do you think is coming in the next, say, 5 years that could change people's home dialysis option and experience? I think, for me, real quick to answer, like, it's hard to say what the future holds for dialysis because it's such a touchy subject. I just want the innovation to continue. I don't want these companies to get complacent with, okay, we've made the next machine. This should last for another 25 years. You know what I mean? I wanted to see, like, we're making this machine. We got it here. What could we do in the next 2 to 3 years, 5 years to make it better down the road for the future that's coming? Because, unfortunately, of course, unless there's one hiding somewhere, the cure for it is nowhere near. Somebody has it in a box somewhere right now, but we're not getting it no time soon. So this is going to keep going. So how do we continue to have these companies continue to innovate, continue to move forward, continue to keep patients in mind? So where do you guys see kidney care in the next 5 years or so?
Oh, you have to let me jump on my soapbox here because I was just about ready to get into this. And that is the fact that it's because everyone came today. 1,500 people came, and you are the ones with the voice. We're just amplifying it. So, and we need that voice. Kidney disease has never been sexy. And unfortunately, they have not allocated resources for research at NIH. We don't have grants for these companies that are developing innovation. I mean, we need to change the status quo. And guess what?
We have to beg for that money. We were there in DC. We have to beg for it.
Yes. And the thing is, though, that we're not going to be the ones to do it alone. We need you. We need that patient voice. And we need you to demand choice. It's a powerful voice. And I know when we're down and we don't feel well and, we get hit with comorbids and everything else is all, that's the last thing we want to think of. But you can never let go of that end in sight. You have got to be there and take control and demand what we deserve for kidney research, for kidney invention. We're doing dialysis not only the same way we did 50 years ago, but even less of what we're doing. I mean, 50 years ago, we had 40% of the patients at home. And now we have less than 12.
Less than 12, yep.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me be on my soapbox, and I will not have it again.
Of course. Anyone else want to jump in on that? What do we see the next frontiers of dialysis care, and what do we see in the next 5 years changing the site of home dialysis options and experience?
I got some letters for you. VDN and T. Visiting dialysis nurse and tech. Like the VNA.
Yep.
Have nurses that spend literally hundreds of hours in the in-center, but they can't step foot out to help anybody. Right? So that definitely needs to come down the pike. More support.
We've been trying to get legislation for staff assist home dialysis because it's critical. We can't send patients home to do a job that a nurse would do and not give them the full support. And I just learned that this year when I had an accident. I had broke both my wrists. I could not do my own treatment, and I couldn't drive myself to the clinic, and I live alone. And I'm like sitting here going, what do I do? I was lucky. My granddaughter stepped up, but I would not have been able to do dialysis, period. I live in a rural area. I couldn't have driven to the clinic, had no transportation to get to a clinic. I was literally out of luck. So, without
you had someone to go, right? And they pay for nurses to go and give IV medications, change, wound dressings, you name it. But for dialysis, you can't get anyone to help you. And
No.
it's a life-saving treatment.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And we definitely need
I would
to
love to see that. Yep.
staff assist. And when
Go
we
ahead,
get,
Rocco.
we need you all to support us.
Mm.
When we, when that time comes, we need to, paper Congress with letters saying why we need staff support.
Right.
I don't need it every day, but at least
Correct. But when it's
Right.
needed, we need to be able to make a
Right.
call.
Yeah.
Will
Right.
be available.
Go ahead, Rocco.
I see, this just ties in with everything that I wrote down, everything that I was thinking about. Innovations within the next 5 years, I believe that there should be different slots that will enhance patient quality care, actual life improvement. We covered a broad variety of topics so far. Like your wife, for instance, my wife, caregivers. What can we do for caregiver burnout? What can we do for caregiver mental health? Because they see us go through what it is that we go through on an everyday basis, and so that takes a toll on them. Like I said before, having advocates inside of the center, like myself, I'm a part of Dialysis Patient Citizens. You have these individuals that are able to engage with doctors, that are able to engage with nurses, with technicians. You need to have an overall infrastructure, and I guess that's really what we should be aiming for within the next 5 years as far as innovations and improvements. We need to create a foundation, a system to where we are actually in control of what happens. We create the narrative. And that's what I'm hoping to see within the next 5 years, not just as far as machine modalities are concerned, but just the overall care that we receive as patients. Does that make sense?
Yep, the structure of everything, the way everything works.
There's over 700,000 people on dialysis today. We have the numbers. We just can't be afraid to speak out anymore. Because when Congress starts hearing from that many people, they have to listen.
Right.
But we've always lagged behind any other silo of illness in terms of research dollars and research monies and even research efforts. So all of this innovation that's out there is due to dedicated people who are literally spending their lives developing it, because they're not getting funding, from government or HHS or it's not there. And we need to make sure that we keep it on target. There's some fantastic machines coming down the pike. I mean, I've been excited for years, and I refuse to give up that hope. I mean,
it takes a village. It takes a village. You got to make your voice heard. So guys, for patients still considering their options and wanting more, so I'm sure there's a lot of patients who maybe are not on dialysis, who's thinking about home dialysis, who've heard about it today, who are interested, who have a million questions. For those patients out there that's looking for that, wanting more information and wanting to do more research, where do you recommend resources for them? Where do we send them? Where do we tell them to go get this information? How do we get them started? Can you guys give some insight on that for those who are watching who need to know?
Well, you can ask your nephrologist for educators that are in your area. I know US Renal, they have KCO educators, and nurses that are specially trained in the home departments that are more than willing to talk to you. Great time to start stage 4, where you're still feeling halfway decent, and you could really take in the information, and then you have plenty of prep time for your access and where you're going to start and all the planning, and you have that support person there for you.
Nelcha.
So we don't stop just with this today. Last year, you showed us that when the summit was over and we were all like A, exhausted, and B, could not have been more thrilled at the turnout. The first thing you all asked for was more. And so, we came to the table, we started monthly webinars, and based on the data that we'll collect from this meeting today, we will start our monthly webinars again in January and go into more depth with everything that you wanted to hear more of today. We'll be having those coming down the pike, because it is all about educating. We want to teach you how to read those research papers. When I post them on our Facebook group, people say, well, can you tell me what it's about? I'm like, No, I'm going to tell you how to interpret a research paper, because you've got to learn to understand these things. If you teach a man to fish, that's a good thing. If you hand him a fish, he eats once. So we want to do the same thing. We want to make sure that every one of you has tools to continue to learn, to get the answers you need, even if nobody else is out there at that particular moment. So you've got to do the work. And that's what we're showing you how, and being able to take charge of your life, empowerment. There's nothing more freeing than being empowered in your own care.
Very true. Rapa, anything you want to add to that as far as resources for patients who may be considering home treatments?
There's quite a bit of resources out there, but they're scattered. A lot of it is scattered. So you would have to find somebody. You would have to find somebody, because not everybody is done. Not everybody's going to be looking out for your best interests.
Right.
Once you get in this is a very, very harsh reality. So when you get into this, it's you got to navigate it. I think that I speak for all patients when I say that this whole entire time we're just winging it. That's right. What we do.
Yeah. It's very isolating, right? So the other thing is social media. There's a lot out there. Yeah. There's a lot in social media. So if you can't get a person, or a lot of times you can find a social media group, and then maybe through them in your area, they can put you in contact with someone who can help.
And you have to learn to discern between, the Facebook group that says we're going to change your life by eating hot lemons every morning.
Well, right.
Yeah, right.
Let's be real, guys. There is no cure for kidney disease.
Right, exactly. There's no gummy you can eat.
Be realistic. Be realistic in your research, guys. Right. Be realistic in your research. So let's shoot this question real quick towards Nelcha and Rapa. What is something you might do differently in your own dialysis experience based off what you learned from today?
What am I? Well, I'm already doing stuff differently. I have a care partner.
I was going to say the same thing. I think I'm doing different stuff too. I think I'm different enough. I don't think I need to change anything, and then I might just get booted out. I might
a little bit.
It's not always good, right?
I might not need to do anything different. I don't want to get kicked out of anything. So I think I'm going to stay right where I'm at. For now. And I'm happy with that. I don't have any changes for me. There might be some for the newcomers and those getting into it. I'm interested to hear what their answers are on that. But I think I'm good where I'm at. Rapa, what about you?
There's quite a few things that I think I'm gonna change based off my observations.
Wow.
Side note, I noticed something what a lot of people were talking about was that when they started home dialysis, their blood pressure started getting controlled.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that has to do with the stress factor of being inside of the unit and having to get up and do all this different stuff. And you're in that unit and you hear all those alarms. That's a stress factor. So, that raises your blood pressure and you have all that stuff going on. So it's just a little observation that I took note of. But one thing that I really would change and actually go back to, I was high raw, you could say vegan, but I wasn't vegan. There's no veganism over here. I was really a whole foodist. I would just eat whole foods. And I was in that panel when Jennifer was talking. She was speaking, and you guys were talking about all of that.
She was dope.
Plant-based kidneys. I've heard of them. I follow them on Instagram. I know about them. One thing that I did do back in 2009, I started off being a vegetarian. And I was working out, I was hitting the sauna, I was doing my thing. And then the doctor was like, your KT over V is too good. You're getting dialysis too well. So I'm going to lower your time by an hour. So when it comes to being plant-based and everything, that's why I count my potassium and my phosphorus and all of that, because it's very manageable. It helps your blood pressure. So she was spot on about that. And I'm definitely going to go back into doing that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
There's a lot of research into plant-based diet, that protein is so much healthier for you. I had dietitians look at me going, "Oh, but you can't eat the seeds and the beans and the And you know what? Those are the healthiest foods you can eat.
It is. It
You
is.
know, having a
Also
6
on, I don't mean to cut off your wisdom, but also on a scientific note, your blood urea nitrogen that you get from the protein, they encourage you to intake all this protein. She's talking about just scarfing down the meat. Well, you know, the reason why we don't have immune systems on dialysis is because of the protein and the waste that gets left into the body. Because I researched this down. Like, so, if you start cutting that out, then you're gonna get some of that back. It's basically where I'm getting at. You're gonna get some of that back, and I've experienced that. So, plant-based, you know, for those that do what they do. I mean, I'm a fan of meat. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I love my chicken and stuff. You know what I mean? My ribs. I get that on, but most definitely, not processed vegan food. That's weird. Just stay away from that. But just go back to your whole leafy greens and your stuff. Your whole breads and things like that. You should do good. You'll definitely do good.
So, and as you know, to piggyback on that, you know, I've been a pescatarian for 4 years, and you know, I stopped eating meat. My blood pressure, I'm on 2 medications. You know, I'm being on dialysis. So, you know, and I remember I used to get dietitians that would come to me and say, you know, well, what do you do for protein if you're not eating your meat, chickens? And I'll be like, I don't know a cow that eats meat, and they're looking healthy to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just look at it like that. My plant-based foods, my proteins are usually whatever fish I'm eating or whatever, and I've had great numbers ever since. So, you know, guys, do what's best for you. Do what's going to work for your body. Eat natural. Yes, we're all different cases, but do what best and what works for your body. Try things out. If it doesn't work, stop it. Your blood work will tell you everything you need to know, and just, you know, I mean, just listen to it. So we got 5 minutes left. I got a question from the audience. It says, I'm 83. I live alone, and I am geographically isolated from my family. So my question is, am I absolutely required to have a care partner to do home dialysis? Dawn, can you answer this for me?
No. I don't know whether you're thinking about home chemo or peritoneal dialysis. Peritoneal dialysis, most people don't need a partner unless there's some reason that you can't do it. But we've had, you know, blind people, deaf people, even wheelchair bound people. So no, it does not preclude you from doing.
And I'm going to take that answer one step further. And it's not controversial, but you might not want to hear it. But starting dialysis at 83 is not always necessary. You can often be treated with what they call compassionate care, which is regulating your diet so that you're not stressing your kidneys. Our kidneys naturally function less as we age. So I don't need as much dialysis today as I did 10 years ago. I mean, that's just a fact. My doctor has acknowledged that. So you want to consider, and I'm actually on a Corey grant right now as a lead investigator. We're looking at that exact issue. People in their above 80 that are going into dialysis, is this something that they need, or is this something that the doctor needs? This is nice.
So Barbara, I would say that this is like a perfect example of, you know, being your own advocate. If you want to be home, then you need to search out the best people that can help you make that happen.
And don't go by numbers, go by how you feel.
Go by how you feel. So we have 2 minutes left, so we have to break it down because I'm sure it's been a long day. And, you know, and I want you guys to be able to do what you have to do. You got to know where to be. And so I just want to say, if there's anything to add for our audience, let's give some closeout remarks, 30-second remarks of something you want to leave our audience with before we head out. Rafa, let's start with you on that, man. Anything like to add for our audience that they might not have heard yet today, and something, a closing remark for them?
Hey, don't stop. You have to win. Like every single day when I face the needle, this has always been my thing. My mother raised me like this. I had to do dialysis by myself with PD. She forced me to do it. We were both on dialysis together. We both had transplants together. And her main thing was me taking care of myself. You have to live. No, we can do all of this. We can all come together. This is great. All this is great. But at the end of the day, this is your choice. It really is up to you. And I want you to live. They want you to live. The people that are behind you. Like, I did this my whole entire life by myself until 2019. You know, it's not easy, but you have to live. Keep living.
Beautiful, beautiful. Dawn.
Be empowered. It's all about your attitude. Everything is out there for you. You need to find it. You need to talk to people. You know, like we talked in the very beginning, David, it's hard. It's hard is like the best word, but it's your life and it's your choice. Be brave. Be brave. Be willing to try instead of saying, I can't.
Right.
And you'll find people around to support you. And make your journey the best for what you want your life to be.
Beautiful. Nocha.
Well, I just want to thank all 1,500 and some people who registered this year to come and attend and tell us what they want, what they need, what they're looking for. And so we're not going to let you down. We're going to start right away when this session's over, planning for all of our webinars through next year until we have another summit and come to the table. And every year we're going to grow stronger.
I say mine will be follow the W's. Have a want, have the will, and you got to have the why to do this. It's not easy, and it brings you to the biggest W of all. You said it already, the win. Wins only. You guys know me. Wins only is my mentality. Always be known. When you wake up, you open your eyes, you've won. When you took a step, you've won. When you breathed in, you won. When you made a decision, you won. When you can see, you won. When you moved, you won. You've won 1,000,000 times before you brush your teeth in the morning. So take all those wins in, please. And remember to celebrate those small wins with you, your family, yourself. Any small accomplishment you may make in your life in this journey on dialysis, but especially the ones outside of dialysis. When you do something outside of this, be happy that you were able to do it outside of your dialysis. And just like everyone said here, live. Dialysis doesn't mean it's over. This is just the beginning. Live your life. Do the things you love. Love on people. Forgive and love and move forward and keep your peace, man. Hold on to your peace. It has been a wonderful day with you guys today. I want to thank all of our sponsors. I would like to thank HDU, AKF, everyone here, all of my panelists, all of the behind the scenes people working hard, man. Special shout out, Alex, Zach, Jess. You guys have been amazing. And I just been so honored to be an MC today, along with my co-host, Home Dialysis, the United American Kidney Fund, putting this whole day together, assembling a dream team for you guys to answer your questions, all the breakout session moderators, moderators, all the sponsors who helped make today possible. You guys have been amazing. Please follow HDU and AKF on social medias and learn about the resources and stuff they're putting out there. You can follow me too on social media if you want. David Rush Speaks, a little promo in there. And make sure you follow all the YouTube channels. They do great programming throughout the year. You don't want to miss. And be sure to stay tuned with HDU. They'll be putting some more stuff for research and stuff like you heard. Know what you're saying for you later on. I just want to thank you guys so much for making this day beautiful. We rocked out all day from 11 to 5, and I loved every minute of it. Thank you guys. And hopefully I will get to see you again next year. And we hope you learned a lot. And I believe you did because I did. So as always, you know me, man. I do not lose. This is David Rush. And my mantra is wins only. Peace and love to everybody out there. Stay blessed. Keep smiling. Till next time, I'll see you. Peace.